Hello, Scorpio friends. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. I am so thrilled to have everybody here with me today. Welcome back to the subscribers, to the returning viewers. Welcome to the newbies. I'm so excited that you've stumbled upon this channel or been told about it. Today we're going to do a fun little tarot spread for you about career and finances. Now with all these, free YouTube tarot spreads, these are general messages, so that means that not everything I say is going to resonate with everyone out there. And that's totally fine. Never force anything to fit your circumstance or your scenario. If it doesn't seem like it's your message, push it aside, move on to something else. I encourage you to check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs for additional messages, for more clarity if you're interested in that. There's going to be a link in the description box below that will take you to a website if you don't know how to generate your birth chart. We'll show you how to do that. Everything else you're going to want to know will be in that dialog box. So the decks I'm using, everything you need to know about this channel, the social media channels, etc. Let's get started for you Scorpios. What can we get for the Scorpio gang for career and finances? So do keep in mind this is not date specific. If you stumbled upon this video, there's probably something you can take away in it. And yeah, energy is free flowing, right? There's really no fixed stop or start date. So again, take what resonates and toss out what doesn't. All right, so for the Scorpios, see if we can get one more card for you here. For career and finances. What does our Scorpio gang need to know? Career and finances for Scorpio. Okay. You had two fly out. Sorry, let me rescue this one. All right, so we will keep those there. Ooh, sorry, guys. I got tight quarters here. I'm still settling in. Okay, so bottom of the deck, funny, a couple other people, I think Libra and Gemini got this card as well. The Five of Air. Not a great energy, right? It's sometimes the card of petty conflict, arguments. It's air energy, so communication, logic, clarity. Yeah, especially in some like work career spreads, I always see this as just miscommunication, especially among the groups, among coworkers, between you and a partner, you and a boss. Sometimes, feelings are hurt. People say things that they don't necessarily mean. So we'll keep that in mind as we go forward. Bummer. I hate that that's the bottom of your deck. Hopefully it'll be more inspiring, but hopefully these messages are meant for those who need to hear it. So maybe someone is going through some sort of conflict or struggle. Scorpio, your card is the Six of Swords. Okay, so this is frequently the card of moving on. When we've been through an imbalance situation, if you will, a 5, which is what we have here, we then move on to the 6, which is more of a victory card. So you have the 6 of Air, forward movement in a boat, right? Sailing on to brighter shorelines, to greener pastures, to however you want to say it. The swords in the boat represents the lessons that we've learned from the past conflict, and now we can move forward because, yeah, it's like the situation can be put to bed. You have those lasting memories, that lasting knowledge of the struggle, of the conflict, of the difficulty, but ultimately it's time to move on. What's next? So that is a very encouraging energy. So because this is coming up in the you section, but this is the overall, I'm thinking that maybe this could have been something that happened in the past, or perhaps something you're still reconciling in order to feel like you can move on wholly and completely and not have any kind of loose ends, if that makes sense. This card frequently does indicate movement or travel. Now, it doesn't always have to be leaving the job, right? It could be leaving an old title behind, right? If you're ascending up in the company, it could be taking on more work, more responsibilities. Let's throw a clarifier on the 6 of Air for Scorpio, please. Let's see what else we can get. For something about this card is speaking to me about getting into some sort of area or location that is unfamiliar to you. As we were saying, sailing on to better shorelines. There's also mystery that lies ahead, and there's something about being cautious or suspicious here. Okay, so being clarified by the card number 17, the Star. I don't know if I'm allowed to show this on YouTube. That just occurred to me. It's beautiful. It's the human body, but I'll try not to show it too much. But okay, so card number 17 is the Star, or is the card of Aquarius. For those who are interested, might be dealing with an Aquarius, may have Aquarius in your chart. Generally, this is the card of healing. It comes right after the Tower, so the Tower would be a significant moment in your life, Scorpio, where, you know, things were maybe burnt to a crisp, you know, crumbled to the ground in order for you to rebuild and start anew. So absolutely, this could be starting anew. And again, even if it's not literal travel of leaving the job or leaving the workplace, there is some, I just want to show it to you so bad. There's some sort of healing going on. There's a need for recuperation. But the Star is also a card that is very hopeful. In a very dark sky, what's giving us hope is the little twinkling lights in the stars, right? So while the overarching energy may feel grim or dark at times, Scorpio, there is light ahead, there's better times. It does talk about following your dreams, still having hopes and desires. So maybe, I almost want to say maybe your dreams were shattered. Maybe you got into some sort of role or position, or you got on board with some project and you had all this this hope that it was going to be the one, the right fit, the perfect job, the best work conditions, and it kind of wasn't, is what I'm getting. So you're kind of have to go back to the drawing board and kind of give yourself a pep talk that, like, this isn't it. You know, maybe we thought this was the one, but this isn't the one, right? Maybe this will resonate for the dating scene too. I don't know if it does. Great. But yeah, you're still searching for something more. And I think it's requiring you to, not only get in touch with your emotions in terms of what is it that you love, Scorpio, being a water sign, emotions. What is it that you want to express, release, create, and put out into the world? And ultimately, by doing that, I think it's going to heal you. And I don't just mean in the short term from whatever this little upset or hiccup was. It's more the idea of, like, your soul's path of what you were put on this planet or in this lifetime to do. By I want to say exercising that from you, by putting it out into the world, whatever that is, utilizing your skills and your talents, that it will make you feel whole. It will make you feel complete. And because you're not doing that yet, you're not at that ultimate, this is my dream career, this is my dream project, whatever. Yeah, it's like there's a need to, again, it's not hermit mode, but kind of go within and heal, to do some deeper thinking, to look up at the stars and think about your future, your possibilities. Maintain hope. Again, this is a card of hope and healing, that there are better times that lie ahead. And I think you are headed towards better times. But again, I'm getting some sort of, I don't know if it's hesitation, maybe it's fear. Fear of what comes next, fear that you're going to be disappointed again. Very interesting. So you do have 2 Aquarian cards. Actually, you have 3, so you might very well have strong Aquarius in your chart, Scorpio. It might be dealing with someone in the workplace who's an Aquarian. Okay, so this is the external. If that was the internal, what's going on with you, this is what's going on around you, what's going on in the work environment. Libra had this card as well. Lot of similar cards. Very interesting. So, 3 of air, the card of heartbreak, more sword energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It is a Libra card. There's an imbalance here, right? There's 3. It's imbalanced. Somebody is feeling trumped over. Someone is not being listened to. Someone is being pushed aside. I frequently see this as opposing dynamics, but I don't necessarily know if that's true. Let's see what else we can find out about it. Someone is looking for hope, looking for salvation. Yeah, this is like low man on the totem pole. I almost get like blue collar worker from this. It's like he works just as hard, if not harder, than everybody else, and yet he's getting paid the lowest amount. Or because he doesn't have, I'm saying he or she, it doesn't matter, because he or she doesn't have the college degree or the educational background, it's stifling their ability to move up, to move on. Something about this can also speak of the team dynamics, the relationship within a group, within a team. Someone is feeling left out, or again, not heard, with swords being communication. Heartbroken, right? It's a very dark card. It's very grim. It's very sad. I don't even like looking at it. And so I am sort of getting the same thing. It's like there was some expectation versus reality of, you thought that going down this path was going to lead to the ultimate, the dream job, the highlight, if you will, of your career. And it's almost like you did follow the path, and yet it led you to here. It led you to more heartbreak, more disappointment. Scorpio. My Scorps. Being clarified by the King of Swords. I'm getting this was a harsh truth. And I think the King of Swords is who is on the, if you're on the receiving end, Scorpio, of feeling heartbroken or disappointed, numb, sad, hurt, this may represent your boss. This is also an Aquarius card. You have a lot of Aquarian energy here. And the thing is, I don't necessarily think this person is evil, right? You just have different ways of viewing things, of approaching situations. It's like this person is blocking your sunlight. This person is a barrier between what you actually want. They're more like a gatekeeper of sorts, but there's a huge amount of power that they hold. They sit in a very strong, sturdy stone throne, right? A throne of stone. And, you know, they have their sword of truth, but it's also a weapon in a sense, right? They're not just going to let anyone pass. They're not just going to say, yes, go right ahead. There's a lot of red tape here. There's a lot of, I'm just getting major power position here. And this is sort of perhaps who you are working under, who you have to report to, who maybe you're applying to a job, and this is representative of, you know, who you're trying to get to, the company you're trying to work with. It's very, there's something about it that's very severe and a little bit cold. Again, the blocking of the sunlight behind him, it's there, we can see it, but we would have to get through him. We would have to pass this gatekeeper of sorts to realize the peace that it would bring. And I'm just getting like, you're so wounded or feeling so defeated, you don't know if you have the strength to go on. You don't know if you even want to like mince words with this king of swords. And I mean, I'm not going to shit on the King of Swords. He's very logical. He's very intelligent, but he can also be very blunt, right? He doesn't rule with his emotions, right? And Scorpio, you're a water sign, so for better or worse, right? You are very emotional, whether or not you choose to express that. And that's sort of what I'm getting here. I got this for Libra as well. It's like these swords represent what you're not communicating. Clearly, you're feeling a lot. You're in a lot of pain, potentially. You may be feeling depressed, or at minimum, you're feeling numb and dissatisfied. But I mean, again, this card is pretty harsh. You're not communicating how you're feeling. And here's the thing, though. Even if you did, I don't know how sympathetic this boss, potentially this company, would be. I'm getting the fact that you're at a company that is very sterile. It's not about, hey, team dynamics, Scorpio, like, let's all hang out and go for happy hour and talk about our feelings. And I'm not saying that that's what all of you want, but a little dose of that wouldn't be the worst. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it with this Sword King. People who have made it to the other side are happy. I don't totally know what that means, but that's what's being communicated here. Those who have made it past this Sword King, this King of Swords, they're happy and there's freedom, but it's on the other side of him. So I don't know if that's talking about getting a foot in the door at a company, and if this is literally just the gatekeeper to get in, it's happier inside. Or I don't know if that talks about moving on from this element. I don't know if it's a person or if it's symbolic of a company. Maybe there's freedom outside the walls of this company, or even outside the walls of this specific title or job description. There's potential for happiness. We can see it, but you're being blocked. Sorry, Scorpio, my video froze. So what I was saying is this King of Swords is not going to get off his throne to help you. The way I'm looking at it on my board, it looks like this. You want that sunlight. You're looking at it, right? You see it behind him, but he's not going to reach out a hand and be like, Scorpio, are you okay? Do you need help? Do you want me to get those swords out of your heart? He's going to stay there and he's watching you. And so I'm almost getting this might be a test, Scorpio. And it's not so much, I always get these like heavy messages for Scorpio. It's not a test from your employer. It's a test from like the universe. maybe to prove your strength to yourself, but for you to get up even through heartbreak and loss, sorrow, depression, to chase after the sun that I think you thought it was a quick and easy path to, and it hasn't been. It's been a test of your faith. Threes, again, are in imbalance. It's an uncomfortable energy. The sun is there. It's right behind him. This is like the last test. This is the last battle to get to salvation, to get to sunshine, to freedom. And right behind him is water, Scorpio. That's important because that's your element, right? You would be at home here. This would be similar to Pisces reading, the idea of your element is just around the corner. It's in the future, calling you, waiting for you. It's like chariot energy. It brings you home. There's a need for you to gather up the strength. I'm just getting one more time. And yeah, it's like you're running a marathon and your knee gives halfway through. And it's like, are you going to give up or are you going to push through? You're going to have to hobble along. It's going to be uncomfortable. But how badly do you want to reach the finish line? It is very heavy energy. I can feel it, Scorpio. All right, so that's sort of the exterior, what's going on again in the workplace. And that would make sense, healing, the idea of hope, getting through. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm allowed to show that. I have to remember that. It's such a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. Trust your intuition. Your intuition knows when it's time to pull the plug, when it's time to call it quits. Is it worth potentially risking getting hurt again, trying to bypass this King of Swords, trying to get past him? Is he going to stick you with his sword, metaphorically? I don't know. And I mean, words are language, are communications. So I don't know, nasty emails, nasty texts, just harsh communication. Maybe your boss is somewhat of a dictator, right? And again, there's not a lot of emotion here. It's a sterile work environment. And for you, Scorpio, yeah, that's just, I don't think you would dig that very much. To each his own, only take what resonates. But it's like there's potential for happiness. You in the salty ocean water. So it's like you can clean away these bruises, this blood, this sorrow. Like you can wash it away if you could just get to salvation, if you could just get to your heaven, your safety spot. So the heart of the matter, the conflict we're dealing with here is, okay, starting anew, the innocent. Pisces have this as well. The Fool in this deck, it's called the innocent. Not having mental baggage, not having emotional baggage, not having a lot of physical baggage, right? He's just got his little knapsack there, whatever you call it. The idea of having enough faith in yourself to take risks. Metaphorically, jumping off the cliff, knowing that you'll land on your feet somehow. You don't have a lot of hang-ups or hold-ups that are keeping you in the past, essentially, right? The innocent, the Fool, he's already completed a cycle. He doesn't bring things from the past, again, from that old cycle, into the new with him. He's focused on the now, on enjoying the life. His eyes are closed, like he's taking in the sun. He's smelling the flowers, right? There's a very innocent, pure, untainted quality about this. So I'm not saying that it's been all sunshine and roses, Scorpio. I know it hasn't. I know you've been through some major conflicts, some major heartbreaks, some major pain. I feel it for you. I want to give you guys a big hug. And I don't mean that to sound patronizing. But what is going to require you, that's why this is so important. What is going to be required of you to reach this finish line at the race, this floating in water, this healing water energy? Love, right? Emotions, cups. Water is love. For you to feel love again, it's almost loving yourself enough to push on a little further, to chase after what you deserve, where you're supposed to be. I think you went through a really negative cycle, whether it was a karmic cycle or, again, lessons, right? You have a lot of sword energy here. We don't always realize why, but for some reason we have been put on a path to learn these lessons, these heavy, dark lessons that are not fun, right? This is requiring you to be humble, to almost give up the ego and be open to receiving the communications from the universe, potentially, which is what the star can be. But like, I mean this in a kind way. checking your ego at the door to think that you're too good to learn lessons, to understand that everything that happens to you, whether you realize it or not, does serve some purpose. I'm going to borrow a phrase from one of my favorite tarot readers, Jay from Aquarian Insight. She just did a video and she talks about how when really shitty things happen to us, we can try to, I want to say, like, excuse them until we're blue in the face of, or try and understand, wrap our head on, why did this happen? Why me? I didn't deserve this. I'm a good person. You know, I don't cheat on people, so why did people cheat on me? I don't hit people, so why did somebody hit me? Sometimes, she said this, I'm borrowing her phrase, we are roadkill on other people's paths. And that is an indicator that they had lessons to learn. And yes, we were an unfortunate bystander in their path, but why should we let their path, their mistakes, consume us to the point where we're holding on to rage and hostility and anger and sadness, pain, sorrow, tears, living in victimhood, Scorpio. And again, I am not trying to be preachy or say that what you have been through isn't valid. Again, I sympathize with you so much. I feel your pain in this card, but there's something about this that is advising you, you need to drop the past, because like it's the universe is trying to hand you down this gift of freedom. You don't have to carry these burdens anymore, Scorpio. It's not your job. The people who have hurt you along the way, they have their own karma. They have their own lessons and karmic cycles that they're completing. Maybe you were an innocent bystander, an unfortunate victim, again, the roadkill on somebody else's journey. That's exactly what this is. Look, it's roadkill. It's a mouse, right? He metaphorically got ran over by a car and that person took off and they're never to be found again. It was probably this person. The one, and this is you, right? This person took off. Maybe they're not even in your life anymore. I hope they're not, quite frankly, right? I mean, why would you want this person around who did this to you? Whether this is a love relationship, it might be, or again, in the work relationship, there's a need for you to start fresh, to not hold on to that resentment, a need for forgiveness and moving on. Again, harsh lessons. Maybe the lesson is not that it was your fault. Maybe the lesson is to forgive yourself, to understand that there are greater things at work, and that holding on to grudges and resentment and that pain that's holding you back, you're meant to go forward and have this lightness in your step to the point where you almost spring right off the ground so that you're ready for new opportunities and abundance that come your way. Sorry, these messages just like came like in a download. And that would make so much sense that you have a card of healing. This is such a sobering message for you, Scorpios. So please only take what resonates. If it's not your story, hopefully someone out there needed to hear this. Yeah, it's like, get back up, Scorpio. Everyone is rooting for you. The universe is rooting for you. There's a need to let go of the past, to close out a cycle and move forward and only be looking forward. This is such a card of optimism, of hope, of new beginnings. There's a spring in your step because you're chasing after the sunlight. And here's the thing, I think this comes after you've made it past the King of Swords. Perhaps making it past the King of Swords, if this is a career spread, and it's supposed to be, perhaps making it past this King of Swords is realizing this person doesn't hold power over you anymore. You don't energetically need to hold on to this king anymore. Again, could be an Aquarius. They don't need to hold a place in your heart, whether that is in a fond memory or in a negative way of, I'm mad at you, you did me wrong, you deserve this. Negative toxic energy that it's like clouding your own, I want to say mental clarity. It's like, yeah, getting beyond this king to the sunlight could be as simple as, I'm getting that line in Labyrinth where she has to face the David Bowie, the whatever, the labyrinth zombie. What is it? What the king is he? The Goblin King. It all ends. His world comes shattering down when she can look him in the eye and say, you have no power over me. That's a Jim Henson movie with puppets, but that's kind of a powerful line, isn't it? This little mousie who's been hurt, who's been stabbed in the back, who's been heartbroken for possibly quite a long time, possibly. looking at this king or whoever this represents, a person, a coworker, a job that hasn't treated you right, and being like, you know what? I deserve better. You have no power over me. There's light, but do you see how it's shrouded in darkness? Or even this way, it's like eclipsed by this person. Do you want to be with this person, or do you want to go around them? And again, it's going to be different for all of you. This is a general message. But once you get past this gatekeeper, this king, again, to this holy healing water, this salvation, and I am not a religious person, so I'm not trying to be preachy here. I'm not religious, like, at all. That's important for me to say, because I don't want people to think I'm trying to imprint certain things on how I'm reading these. This is what's coming if you can push yourself to realize your power, to get back up one more time, Scorpio. And I say fight, but it's fight for yourself. Realize your self-worth, love yourself enough to energetically let these bullshit people go who've been clouding your mind, who've been energetically like stabbing you in the heart, especially if they're not in your life anymore. Especially if they took one look at you, did something dirty, and then walked away. They don't deserve to hold a place in your heart, in your head, in your mind, in your body. It's time to cut the cord, to move on, and start anew. And this, I'm not minimizing how difficult a step this is. This could take, weeks. This could take months. This could take years of healing. But healing work is what's needed. That's what this card speaks about a lot. All right, we got to move on. Let's clarify the innocent for Scorpio, please. Can we get a card to clarify the Fool? The Five of Cauldrons. Okay. Sagittarius got this as well. Absolutely. This, literally everything I just said, I'm sorry, I ranted for like 10 minutes. This is tough love. Okay, Scorpio, it's coming. This is the woe is me card. This is the card of somebody being so stuck in their sadness and their emotions. The Three of Cups here, right? The Three of Swords, same thing. It's emotional heartbreak. They're so consumed in woe is me. I'm such a victim. This is so sad. How could this have ever happened? The person I love has left me. This person broke my heart. This person stole my car. Whatever. There are two perfectly good cups right behind this person. If they could only get out of their headspace to have the insight to turn around and see that there are other opportunities that await them, it's like it's going to set you free from all this pain and these painful memories that have been holding you back. If you could just turn around, Scorpio, and see that there's a whole other world out there that has nothing to do with these cups that disappointed you, that caused you sadness. This is the total eclipse of the heart. I literally sang to Sagittarius because it's that song, Turn Around. Because there's other, right? The total eclipse of the heart. Your heart has been eclipsed by sadness. You're not letting the light in. Do you get what I'm saying here? You get it. Okay. Scorpio, I feel for you. Like, I'm a water sign too. I can feel this emotion, and it is heavy shit. I don't even like being in it. But again, I hope this message goes out to whoever needs to hear it. And this is a Scorpio card as well. All right, so let's get to your advice and guidance. This is going to be a long video, guys. Wow, the Nine of Cups. Oh, it's getting optimistic. Thank goodness. The wish fulfillment card. You have two cards of wish fulfillment. This is like the minor arcana of the major arcana. This is also the wish fulfillment card in the higher suit, if you will, the majors. It's what you're moving towards. You're moving towards brighter days. You're moving towards a brighter future. But again, the water is healing. Do you see how I'm saying you need to get beyond this king to like bathe in the waters of healing? You've got to stand up for yourself or prove yourself, or maybe it is with swords communication. Maybe you need to say that one thing that you've always needed to say to someone in order for you to close out the cycle. And again, use your own discretion on what that is, if that resonates. You need to make peace, though. This isn't about fighting fire, with doing somebody dirty who did you dirty. It might need to be, again, like, you have no power over me. It's simple and it's short, but it's very poignant, right? You don't need to tear somebody a new one because that's what they did to you. You need to go beyond that. Your words need to just float away. You need to speak your mind and be able to float away light as air. No resentment, no baggage, no petty conflict, no petty bullshit where you're looking back worrying if that person's going to retaliate. You need to close out this cycle, because that's what the Fool does. The cycle's been closed out. So you're getting your wish fulfillment. You are working your way towards healing, I think it's like starting that new chapter in your life where, again, you're released from this sadness, this pain, Scorpio. Oh, I want to give you a big hug. And then clarifying the 9 of water is, wow, you just got Mother Earth. The World card, the very last card in the major arcana, you literally have it here. It's like starting... It's really, I think it's this. It's closing out a cycle with your dignity, with your pride, knowing that you love yourself enough to go after bigger things, and then starting anew, lighter than air. And again, it's important because you're on this card, Scorpio, with the World card. We always have the 4 fixed zodiac signs. So Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. And both Aquarius is huge here in your spread. So again, it might be in your chart. There's complete harmony, there's balance, there's closing out of cycles. There's love, right? She holds the world in her hand and she holds it close to her like a baby, like a teddy bear. I mean, it's Mother Earth, right? Going out into nature and putting your creative gifts out there, but there's something that needs to be closed out before you can feel that peace and that harmony, before that sun just beats down on your face and you feel so grateful to be alive. Because it's like you've bathed in the waters. Where the hell is the water? The water behind this king. You've bathed in the waters and like cleansed. It's like karmic cleansing. You've closed out whatever nasty, toxic energy was remaining there. And now don't you want to feel this way? Look how good that like lizard iguana woman feels. She's got the whole world in her hands. She's got a world of possibilities because she's not holding on to baggage of the past. She's humbly learned the lessons, the really difficult, painful hardships and lessons along the way. She humbly said, okay, put them on my boat. Give me the lessons. All right, it's time to learn them. I'm going to understand what these lessons mean for me and what it means for me to close out a cycle and start anew. It's your life, Scorpio. Don't let anybody else's actions dictate your own happiness. And I know that's easy for me to say, right? This is one tarot reading of 1,000, but you have free will. You have the power to do whatever you want with your life. Don't waste it being angry or resentful or sad or heartbroken because of someone else's actions that it's like, I'm just getting energetically, you may have been holding on to this grudge for years. And this person's action towards you may have happened in a day. They might not even be thinking about it, right? And I think that they were probably on a very dark path. And again, maybe you were the unfortunate roadkill. It's time to move on. Under this card, by the way, you have the card of victory, forward movement, wand energy, which is so nice to see. Fire, passion, energy. Again, career. I don't know if this is a career spread. Maybe it is for some of you. But yeah, this message needed to come out. It's like screaming to come out. Forward victory, movement, pride, confidence, riding triumphantly through a parade, knowing that you just conquered some major shit, Scorpio. And it would make sense that this is so heavy for you guys because we're coming out of that Scorpio full moon. What needs to be released and the transition, the death card, right? Temperance is what comes after death, the healing. It's very similar to the star. So it's like you're healing yourself and your wish of starting a new cycle, of living a life of peace and balance and harmony. Maybe of your wishes coming true, achieving what you've always wanted to, but you were stuck. You've been sitting there thinking about those wishes. It's like you're about to make them come true. And the thing is, it is going to require some action on your part. Again, whether that is a conversation that needs to be had, whether it's a peace offering, closing out a cycle, whether it's physically leaving a job and moving on, whether it's starting anew in a new position, in a new company with a new person, trying the single life out for a bit, right? If you've been in a toxic relationship, there's going to be a victory once you decide to take action, Scorpio. Okay? And I mean, these cards are beautiful. I love that that's your guidance. Follow your wishes, follow your dreams, see them through to fruition, close out old cycles that just need to die. Peace, balance, harmony, and love. Scorpio, love yourself first. Oh my gosh, my heart is heavy giving you this message, but again, I'm hoping it resonates with someone who needed to hear it, okay? Thank you for joining me today. Please do like, share, subscribe. If that resonated for you, leave me a comment if you like. I will see you guys next week for oh my gosh, we're almost in June for our monthly June readings. All right, thanks guys, bye.